Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, September 4th. Looking at the impact map for the next 3 days, smoke, the main impact. Still, our California fires are burning. The smoke is being transported from west to east. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you see that smoke continuing to push eastwards and expand a little bit further northwards into much of Idaho. So that'll continue. It looks also like heat is going to be a major factor. Temperatures rising up to at least 10 degrees above normal. So for late summer, that puts us near record levels. We'll be monitoring that. Uh, Smoke forecast for this afternoon on the left. We're looking at surface this afternoon, and then Sunday afternoon, you see the smoke expanding further north and eastwards. Similar story on this on the vertically integrated smoke, which is smoke basically from the surface on up above 6,000 feet. You see the points of origin of the smoke on the model in the purple, and you see it pushing eastwards, but still sparing much of eastern Idaho and at least some of Utah for this afternoon, but becoming more concentrated as we go into Sunday as high pressure builds in and traps a lot of that smoke down at the surface. We did have some lightning on the right-hand side across our eastern areas, which are quite moist. It was a mix of wet and dry, but the fuels there quite moist, as we'll see. There was some small initial attack here with new starts in the red, nothing that got big very quickly. Otherwise, recent fires in the yellow. And looking at precipitation over the past 7 days, excluding yesterday on the left, you can see where our monsoonal moisture push was across the Arizona Strip, much of southern and eastern Utah. The areas in green are anywhere from a ½ inch to over an inch in the darker green. The pockets of yellow are an 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. So another good soaking there, up in the Uintas as well, and some portions of far eastern Idaho and western Wyoming, but it definitely peters off further to the west. You can see the percent of normal near bone dry, near 0% in the dark red, but the purple shades indicate 300 to 600% of normal in some of those more moist areas. And our ERCs kind of reflect that, where the moist conditions in the eastern areas in the green, and a sharp divide to the 80th, 90th, and even 96th percentiles from the reds to the purples, and much of Idaho also steadily drying out as well, at least the western half of it. So that's another place we'll have to monitor. Also looking at some live fuel moisture with the sagebrush. We'll start with far northwest Nevada, and you can see levels there, kind of hard to see, but they've dropped down quite a bit down towards the 100 percentile, which does correlate with large fire activity. However, further south, you can see across parts of west central Utah, where the monsoonal moisture has pushed the fuel moisture up quite a ways from the critically dry levels they were just a bit over a month ago, and similar story as you get into southeast Utah. So that's what's inhibiting some of our fire activity in the south and east, not just the dryness of the dead fuels, but also the live fuel moisture and some green grass also cropping back up. Satellite imagery, not much in the way of moisture across the area. It's this high pressure ridge starting to build westwards, and it's going to be the dominant weather feature. It's going to push up and dry things out. You see it's high pressure building here. This is all going to kind of merge together in the coming days. So we go towards today. You see the dry air mass on the left in that tannish shade. The green monsoonal moisture being suppressed to the south, the front also to the north of the area. And on the right, you can see where fuels are critical in the brown and where things are quite benign in the green. Quite dry on the right-hand side, lots of single-digit to low-teen humidity, except in southern and eastern areas where the humidity would be closer to 20%. On the left, wind's pretty light, as you would expect under building high pressure. And that high pressure continues to build. Big, broad high pressure, high and dry. This kind of a pattern very rapidly can dry out fuels. And you can see starting to dry things out on the significant fire potential on the right. Again, the right-hand side, very dry, single-digit humidity to low teens in most areas. Again, winds fairly light, maybe 10 to 20 mile-per-hour winds up in the mountains of Idaho. And it'll be the western part of that where it could be a bit of a concern. And looking for Monday, high pressure centered over central Nevada, building northwards again, hot and dry. You can see much more brown on the map. You see the greens disappearing for now. And on the left, winds are light. On the right, humidity, again, bone dry, single digits to low teens. 3-day precip totals, not much for us. The monsoon retreats to the south and east. Further down the road, there's that monster high pressure ridge. centered kind of right over the Great Salt Lake. So super hot and dry temperatures in the valleys, definitely 100 to 110, depending on where you are from north to south. And then the high pressure starts to shift a bit further eastwards as we go into Wednesday. In response to this trough approaching the Pacific Northwest, you can see how dry things are. And then by Thursday, a very rapid change, a push of monsoonal moisture pushes on southerly winds as the high pushes eastwards towards Colorado. That's a favorable rotational flow for moisture pushing back into Nevada and parts of the Arizona Strip and southern Utah. And then on Friday, that moisture kind of splits in two. Part of it goes into eastern Utah, the other part into parts of Nevada, and even into Idaho. So we could see some moistening, but the other danger is on the northern periphery, far northern Nevada, parts of Idaho, maybe far northwest Utah, where things are still critically dry. That lightning after such a dry period could lead to new fire starts, especially all these areas here that are in the brown on the right-hand side. 7-day precip totals, a lot of this will be falling in the last 2 days. You can see the deeper pockets of wetting rain. The dark green is a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, but the lighter green shade is just a few hundredths of an inch. So we'll have to watch for some lightning conditions, especially up there towards the Payette where they've been bone dry. Also up in towards near and north of the I-80 corridor. The 8 to 14 day, taking us from September 11th to the 17th, shows near normal temperatures for the most part, a bit of a cool down for the north and western areas, but above normal moisture. Some of that monsoonal moisture lingers. Could see some more lightning, maybe some fire starts on the northwest periphery of this, more moistening further south and east. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.